Aloha. You know, the name Flashback is the proper name because as we were growing up, when we was small, Aloha was within the ohana. And within the ohana, this is how it should be today. Carry on from that to today, the flashback. And that is so important. I say this because within each and every one of you in these days that we are in, and we know how the government is run today. They're turning on us. So we are the government that we have to stand strong and say enough is enough. Let us live in peace with our heart. Well, you know, before I do carry on, I think it is only proper that we ask our Lord Jesus to protect us this day and to put aloha to each and every one of our hearts, that we may enjoy this beautiful day that He has given us. Have this fellowship with one another. And that is so beautiful. To me, I see each and every one of you make my heart happy. Regardless of who you are, we still one. And I'd like to thank all of you to support this flashback. It is for us to think of the times that we was raised till today. We flash it today. So the flashback is today.
What's happened to the Hawaiians, so this is a gift to let you know that what happened shouldn't happen again. Freeway through a reservation, make way for a brand new nation. Big ideas, we got brand new plans. Heaven knows we need this land. We're gonna build big, high and wide, city streets through countrysides, chemicals and pesticides. This land is our land. This land is our land. Hey, red man, don't waste our time. We're young and strong, we got hills to climb. There's a lot of room, but we need it all for slave trading and shopping malls. We're gonna build big factories, paper mills and plastic trees, styrofoam and antifreeze. This land is our land. This land is our land. I don't know how many more 7-Elevens we need. How about let's help each other? respect.
Next we got the Hiccup Circus over from Seaview.
We're going to have flying objects in this next piece.
Garber is open to our needs and will be a fine representative after some peculiar representation we've had in the last couple of years. I think we're back on track. If Rainbow is here,
we're here for love, and we're all only here for love. And when we realize that and let go of the outer self, the love can flow. We'll realize that what we do to one another, we're really doing to ourselves. And I'm learning to love myself, and I love all of you.
Things we focused on in the Sustainable Community Alliance when we first got together 2 years ago was to hit the county up with a resolution to encourage, well, not actually encourage, but to establish an alternative building code. And that resolution, the Sustainable Habitat Building Code resolution, passed in October 2011. And of course, we're more than a year past that. Unfortunately, I have to tell you they haven't done a lot. But the good news is that we got Zendo Kern elected. And we got him elected here in our district of Puna. And Zendo's platform is to get an alternative building code passed. And he's told me that it's his first priority once the county kicks in the next few weeks here, I guess. And we're, our alliance that is, pushing him to stick to his word. There's 500 of us right now. And if you haven't signed up, to be a member of our alliance, please do. We have a website that gives a whole host of all kinds of information about rules and regulations and things you can do as alternatives and all kinds of initiatives that are happening on the Big Island, throughout Hawaii, eco-villages around the US, internationally.
Very eloquently stated, we are one big community. There's no reason any of us should be suffering the obligations and harassments that the model communities of this beautiful area are putting together. Jesus knows about what the problems are. There's a lot of communities. They don't need to be pressured. They need to be looked upon as a model for sustainability into the years ahead. I'd like to take the pleasure of introducing a friend of mine named Cubie Maddow.
I'm here to try to help people understand who they are and who their kids are. And I've been a student of astrology for about 20 years. I used it in negotiations. I used it to understand who I was. I taught all my kids who they were with it. And when I got here, I said, Amber, what you gonna do? She said, oh, Grandpa, I'm just happy just being who I am. I said, well, you gotta have some money if you're gonna live in this world. And I love you, but I got my little life to live. Oh, Grandpa, I don't want to be a burden on you and this and that. I said, okay, I'll tell you what, why don't I teach you what I know, and then maybe you can set up a program, because she finally told me what I want to do is work with kids. And I said, okay. I says, I've taught you everything I know about art. Why don't you get into the area of teaching parents about their kids? Since you learned from me on who you were, and now you understand how you can live life completely free and being who you are. Now, the lady who spoke a few minutes before me, she talked about looking at yourself. That's the secret. Anything you don't like, just look in the mirror and you'll see it. No ifs, buts, and ands about it. So when you know who you are, then you know how you look when you're dealing with other people. Now, astrology is one of those sciences that's been kept away from us by the ancients and by people who know how to do it, and I understand why. Now, because they don't want us to know who we are. Because once you know who you are, then you are the captain of your own ship. So when I look into the kids' eyes, and I'm wondering like, oh, who are you? And they tell me, I'm so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. They know who they are, but we don't listen to them. So we don't know who they are. And then what happens, they go out into the world, and we're disappointed about, oh, they should be doing this, they should be doing that, they should be doing this. How come you can't be like so-and-so, so-and-so? Because the kid is confused. Who am I supposed to be like? Am I supposed to be like me, or am I supposed to be like so-and-so? Well, the kid don't know. So what Amber and I are getting ready to do, we have gotten the Longhouse on Ainanola for every last Friday and first Friday of each month from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock to do free astrology counseling, to make charts for your kids, to show you how to work them out. And what we're basically doing is that we're not taking any money for this. The donations to pay for the Longhouse. What we're doing is we're working with small groups, we're working with large groups, and we're working with you and your own chart so that you can learn how to do your own kids' chart and work with them.
Well, without my having to say so, there's lots you could talk to Cubie about. He's a man of extraordinary dimensions. He's going to be floating around, and he likes to talk, and he likes to give you answers that maybe make sense, hopefully. When you look at the list of musicians today, you might recognize some of our more popular bands, Terrapin Station, Love Machine, the Kalapana Abba Band, and you wonder who the heck is MaliNali? Well, I know who MaliNali is. It's a secret that will be unveiled in a moment. It's my son John and his girlfriend Ariel who are about to perform. So let's hear it for MaliNali.
Push me to the edge, but my will is strong, 'cause I is where we'll go. All in Mount Zion is where we go.
To introduce one of the chief organizers of this Flashback Festival here, George Duvry. And he's become a really good friend of mine. This guy's one of the pillars of the community, in my opinion. And wonderful man. So he's going to say a few words here. I'm going to turn it over to him. Thanks, George.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you to Russell, who is definitely a part of the spirit of this whole festival together. And I was asked to make some comments about the Woodstock experience, since I was there, as was Russell and others of us out here in the fields. Yeah, and you know, as I look around, sure, the spirit was there, but the spirit still loves on. It morphs, it becomes organic, and here we are again. The opening of Woodstock was a holy man with a long white beard named Swami Sajidananda. Now I'm that guy. I used to have teeth and dark hair. Now I'm the guy with the white beard, but definitely not a holy man, not a guru. But I do know that we are sharing a blessing to be here in this special community of knowing each other, walking on sacred land, being in a hana of special people. As we look at each other, we know that we are part of the one, part of the unity of community. We reflect that energy among each other. It's been a privilege to be here. We want to thank Uncle Robert, his ohana, for allowing us to be part of this extended family, and I think that's very special. It gives us our little niche. To make a little bit of a comment on Woodstock, sure. The music was wonderful, and we're seeing wonderful music today as well. But something that particular movie, the Woodstock movie, did not show was out in the fields, out in the bushes, there were workshops going on. There were people learning how to build teepees, how to plant a garden, how to breathe, how to exercise, how to get out of the whole Babylonian sovereignty. And we're seeing that again today. There's all kinds of information out here about the problems with geothermal, about solar good things, healthy food, cannabis medicine. It's all here. We can learn, we can share, we can grow with all that kind of energy. So I encourage people to be out there and learn and share. Now, of course, Woodstock, as in the movie, there was mud and there was acid. I managed to avoid some of that because I didn't want to miss the music, and I definitely don't want to miss that music today. Afterwards, we'll see. You know, Early Bird 421 special is always within our family midst. But to share that thought about unity, we are community. Unity is the main word in community. It doesn't mean we should be separated by haole, hippie, redneck, biker, straight, or blah blah. We're all breathing sacred air, we're all walking sacred land, we all have the capacity to love, and more important, we have the capacity to see the similarities between each other. It's so easy to say, oh, I don't like your shirt, or I don't like your dogma, or your yoga is not as good as mine, or, you know, I've been initiated by Holy Guru, blah, 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 and you haven't. You know, that's all, you know, trivial matters. Let's find out what we have in common. And I think our commonality is to be here to enjoy music, to enjoy loving each other, and to make this one big, happy opportunity. The Native Americans, just like the Native Hawaiians and all the indigenous peoples of the world, never looked at short-term profits, the bottom line, and all that kind of thing. They looked at decisions that affected generations, not how much money we can make in our pocket today, how many distributors we could sign and leave town, all that kind of stuff. It's a matter of making decisions that will benefit not just ourselves, our children, their children, not to just hang in there, but to thrive. How to create a better world. And I think we have those opportunities. We have the political system kind of giving us that option. We have our spirit, our soul, and our capacity again to recognize how to be better stewards of this world we share. That's why we're, you know, gathered a lot of information here so we can share that with each other. And going back to the music, we have great music, and we still are going to hear great music. Abby Hoffman, who was one of my heroes in the 60s, paraphrased a lady named Emma Goldman once and said, if I can't dance at your revolution, I'm not coming. So we're going to dance. We're going to dance all through the night. But one more speaker before we start dancing. I'd like to introduce someone who I first met in San Francisco about 40 years ago. At that time, Dennis owned a vegetarian restaurant where us hippies would come and have wonderful times with each other. But Dennis has still kept that spirit of the 60s alive and well. He's still here with us. He's been a man of social and political activism, and more so, he's a man of honor. He keeps his word. He promised us 40 years ago that cannabis would be available to everyone that needed it, and he stuck his neck out. He's been a hero. He's brought that medicine to San Francisco by opening the first dispensary, and I'm privileged to introduce him here now. He's a man of heart, soul, and inspiration, Dennis Peron.
Aloha. Thank you, George, for the kind introduction. Many people don't know me, but I wrote the first law that allowed medical marijuana use in California. So I'm well known there. And it seems like the fire we started in California has now spread to the whole nation. Now half the population in America is smoking marijuana if you're sick. I never thought in my wildest dreams, there would be so many sick people. But I always tell them, get better. But in fact, all use of marijuana is medical, has its roots in medical. And I'm glad to be the one that brought it to you. Unfortunately, it took the AIDS epidemic in San Francisco to realize that marijuana is a holistic medicine that you don't have to be sick. It prevents sickness. And it took this tragedy of the AIDS epidemic to bring it to you. I'm very proud to have done that. Excuse me for my voice. I had a stroke about a year ago, and I'm just coming back from it. I have not forgotten a dream and the things that we think are important. And my heart is heavy tonight when I think about one of our brothers in a cage now in Honolulu, Roger Christie, illegally being detained by this fascist government. I just say, none of us will be free. We will never be free as long as Roger Christie is in jail. Oh yeah, my conscience here. I'm brought to you by the new book. I wrote a book. It's, you know, people have to have a history. Have to know your history to have a future. I wrote that history in a book. It's Memoirs of Dennis Peron. It's now available on Kindle. That's the only way to get it. Kindle. It's modern, it's new. But you can download it, you can read it tonight. It's a story about marijuana and it's my life. The war, Vietnam War, war against AIDS, the war on drugs, you name it, I was there. And we're looking for a victim. I'm here. I've been busted 20 times for marijuana, but I never gave up. I never got me down. I knew we were going to realize it someday. That day is coming soon, and I'm glad to have been the guy that brought it to you. Now I'd like to see the rest of my time here to Roger's lovely wife. And she has a letter from Roger. It's a beautiful letter. Unfortunately, he can't be here with us. It breaks my heart that I should leave and he'll still be in jail. Okay, come on up here. Thank you very much. Aloha.
Roger calls Dennis the Pope of marijuana. He's done a lot for our community, the cannabis community. So thank you for being here, Dennis. Wow. So as some of you have already seen it, thank you for writing this out today. This is I just wanted people to see this ship. This is a ship made out of papers that the prisoners, a prisoner had made in where Roger's at. It's made out of rolled papers. When he got his cannabis, not Culture magazine, but his High Time magazine, they made the sail out of it. So you can see how creative these guys want to be in there. It's really amazing. And even the box, the way it's shipped, it doesn't move. So I'm just going to read this out loud for some of you that didn't see it. The biggest thing today that we want to Roger wanted me to express to you, besides expressing mahalo to Uncle Robert. He did a beautiful prayer for those who weren't here when it first started. Uncle Robert did a beautiful prayer, blessing everybody and thanking everybody and talking about the flashback being so important for us to see. And then up came Harry Kim right after him, did a lovely speech, you know, about his friendship for 70 whatever years it was with Uncle Robert. He came especially here, even though he was going to a funeral, he came here and he did a beautiful talk about the freedom for our island. Some of you went to that meeting in Pahoa the other night. You can see it's so important, the freedom that we need here, and that's what it's really about. Roger says silence equals consent. Freedom doesn't come free. You need to participate, Puna, and be brave. So his letter goes like this. Aloha from the prison cells of 104 on the 5th floor of the Federal Detention Center at the Honolulu Airport. Please know that even though my physical body has been incarcerated for over 28 months, that my spirit flies absolutely free over the Kaanapali and to each and every one of you at the Freedom Festival today. Big mahalo to all the organizations and helpers who made this event come true, and to each of you who came out today to take a stand for freedom. Mahalo and aloha to Uncle Robert and to all of his ohana for hosting this today, for their steadfast dedication to joyful and generous community spirit, to social injustice, and to making life pono. I look forward to joining you all again as soon as we win this important case. I love being an activist on the Big Island, especially with my new wife, Cher. It was an interesting marriage last January. Actually haven't been able to see him in 6 months. They said I assaulted a prison guard, so I'm missing touching my man. It's a service and one of the greatest pleasures in our life to serve the cause of cannabis freedom today. We're honored to be activists for the cannabis tree of life. Spirit is greater than government. Here's my suggestion: to make the next Freedom Fest a rally for peaceful sky at the prosecutor's office in Hilo. Pitch, it says, pitch to Mitch. Mitch Ross is our new prosecutor, and he says he wants social judgment, justice, and community involvement. Well, let's go and give it to him. He has to listen to you. If you arrive on time when he's there, you have to have good manners, deliver respectful speeches, and make common sense. Tell him you just want him to obey the law. Like he wants us to obey the law. We want him to obey the peaceful sky law. Now we voted for it. We vote the election and we won the victory. Tell Mitch to stop prosecuting people for 24 plants or less in private at home, just like the law says. Pitch to Mitch. Once that's done successfully, then go on to the next freedom project together, and then to the next one. We get the government we deserve, and we deserve better. I hope to be home, the political active, with you again as soon as possible. In the meantime, consider yourself well hugged. Much love and respect to each and one of you, Roger Christie. Aloha.
Thank you, Sharon. I think that's another important aspect of what we need to be aware of. Freedom, flashback to freedom, flashback to the future of freedom for everybody that we know, because there's no reason to be oppressed. Yes, now we're going to go for one more round of Hiccup Circus. I don't think anybody minds to see the circus come to town.